Get ready with me as I chit chat about my burnout back in December. I am finally ready to tell all, so if you're interested, keep on watching. Today I want to touch on what I basically didn't want to talk about last month, and I said I don't know if I was ever going to be ready, but I'm ready now. I actually want to have this conversation. I think that it's a good conversation to have without disclosing too much, but I think it's important to know when God is redirecting you and what that might look like. So if you are interested, just stick around and let's talk about it. Okay, so we're going to start with some skincare. I already washed my face. I did the oil cleanser from Medicube and then the face wash. Now I'm going to go in with my Medicube Zero Pore Pad Toner. And this I am using during the day while I'm using the GU during the night. I just recently within this month started doing the GU because I was using this morning and night, but I'm gonna see what kind of results that gets me. So this month I am going heavy on self-care. I had a really rough December, as we had discussed, and January didn't treat me so great either. January had me pretty sick for most of the month. I am actually now starting to get over it. Like there is still a little bit of congestion, but I am just working on being well. I was pacing myself, trying not to overdo it, but I am feeling like now I'm starting to feel a lot like myself. I think that I really needed that month of that break and just kind of reestablishing my routine and my wellness. And now I'm just in the state where I am going to treat myself with some love and kindness. I'm going to move in with the Medicube Triple Collagen Cream. So that is what I'm going to use now. So what does that mean for me? It's funny because I feel like a lot of my friends think that I am not big on self-care for myself because I always appear to them like I'm cleaning or, you know, like I'm always busy, but cleaning is also my self-care. And I don't know, not everyone identifies with that. I have a friend who is just like, yeah, no, like cleaning, she does not associate cleaning with self-care. But why it's self-care for me is because it helps me, it helps me soothe. I don't know, like this is just the way it operates for me. So when my home is fully clean and it not only looks clean, but it smells clean, it feels clean, all of those things just kind of give me like this boost and it makes me feel good. So for me, it is self-care. If it's soothing for me while I'm doing it, it is self-care. And this is just a debate between me and my girls a lot because they're like, yeah, that is not my version of what self-care is. All right, I am going to go in now with the Medicube Collagen Jelly Cream. So this one is a gel and this kind of gives you like that skin glass type of look. Some people might think that they look like a little greasy chuleta at first, and that is pork chop, a greasy pork chop, but it's not. It just gives you like this nice little radiance. So I put it on and then I press it in and I let it do its thing. And also this is kind of going under my makeup. Sometimes I just walk out and don't wear makeup. But other than that, I'll just go in and put this under my makeup because it does give it like a nice, it gives a nice sheen underneath the makeup. This I've been saving. I didn't go in with this, but this is the peptide serum. And because I've been like almost out of it, I'll do it sparingly. And usually I'll do the serum before the jelly cream. And I completely forgot as I'm doing the steps, but it doesn't matter. We are moving on and we are getting this makeup done. I'm gonna go in with my eye cream now. This is the Medicube PDRN Pink Peptide Eye Cream, and this goes under my eyes. I also do it like outwards here where the crow's feet tend to develop, and right here and over my eyebrow. So yeah, this is going to be a very heavy self-care month for me because I was sick in January. I feel like I didn't get to focus on what my goals really were. And don't get me wrong, like I've reached goals without even trying, so to speak. And it was also due to me being sick. And when I say I reached goals, I reached like actually the goal that I had originally set forth at the beginning of my weight loss journey, which was 150 pounds. And now I am hitting below 150 pounds, which is still insane to me to say I'm like now officially in my 140s. But I want to establish more of a healthy self-care and just really kind of taking care of myself, taking care of my skin, taking care of my body, mind, body, and soul. All of those things I really want to incorporate now into this month. And it's just a really big self-love month. And I think it's nice and fitting due to the fact that we are entering Valentine's Day. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't really pay much attention to the Valentine's Day holiday, but I think it's just fitting for the theme and for the month, because Valentine's Day is the month of love. And I just, when I do Bible study, let me talk as I do this, because if not, we're gonna be here all day, girl, all day. All right, so I put on my eye cream, I let it set in, and now I'm going to go in with Purador, this vitamin E oil. And I like to do this, and I know this might seem like a lot of steps, and you don't really need all the steps. I like to do it for my skin. It is super dry and cold here in New York. So any kind of layer of moisturization is what I am looking for here. And vitamin E is really great for the skin as well. So I just kind of massage that in right before my makeup application as well. So let's talk about what happened in December. And I will talk about it in a way, I am not a person to badmouth places that I've worked for or anything like that. And I won't actually reveal where I worked, but I was in what I feel now looking back to be a very toxic environment. And I have to be honest, while I was in it, like, and I was giving it my 150%. And what I didn't realize was that it was depleting me little by little. There were also things that were happening that really didn't align with my beliefs as a Christian or who I am as a Christian. And it dawned on me, mind you, I just started working at this place in October. I'm looking for my foundation, guys. I'm here like looking for things and talking while I do it. I'm going to go in today with the CC Plus Nude Glow by It Cosmetics. It's color correcting medium coverage skin tint, and it has an SPF of 40, which is excellent. And I'm going to use my It Cosmetics brush. This is Heavenly Skin. I talked about this in my January favorites, and I will put the links of everything that I talked down below if you guys are interested in looking for this. But I am going to go in with a few dots, and I'm going to put it on my face. So going back to it not aligning with my beliefs, to me, I started working at this place in October. I was more than happy to be working because I had been out of a job for over a year. And I was so excited about this opportunity. I was thankful to God and still thankful to God for the opportunity, because honestly, I was getting to be in a very tough spot financially here at home, and my husband, carrying all the weight, like it was hard on him as well. So I really was thrilled at the fact that I was offered this opportunity, and I snatched it up without hesitation. And I was really happy at first, and I was so ecstatic and excited for an opportunity that I thought was going to be such a great fit for me to grow, especially in my career. And slowly but surely, like what started out to be really great, I'm going to go in now with my Tarte. This is like almost done. This is my Double Duty Beauty Tarte Shape Tape. I wear this in what color? In light, see, I don't have my reading glasses, but I got this light medium 29N. So I, I started to notice some things at this place. And honestly, if I think about the place, I think that it has great opportunity in terms of the business. I just think that it's managed poorly in terms of how the people are managed and the workload is managed. And I've worked for over 20 years. So it's not like I'm a seasoned, I would say, professional in my field. And you know when something is just not right. And you can say a bunch of things and give a bunch of excuses as to why something is the way that it is. And again, I'm kind of talking code because I'm trying to protect I'm just trying to protect the identity. And again, like, I'm not going to disclose anything, but I would say that you know when something is not right, and you know what your capabilities are, what you are capable of performing, and also what just feels right. And once I started to see like certain things, it just made me feel uncomfortable. And one incident happened specifically that really turned me to prayer and to ask God. And this was around November. I started to ask God if this was a good place for me, because essentially me being somewhere, me being somewhere also associates me with that place, right? That my name is going to be associated with that place. And if you think about it, when in Spanish they say like, dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres. It's pretty much the saying in English where it's just like, oh my God, I don't even know what the saying in English is. Like basically you are who you hang out with. And I'm trying to think about what that saying is in English. I feel like there is a term or there is a phrase for this, but that's what it is in Spanish. And I started to think about those things. But don't get me wrong, I needed this job. So I was torn between how I was feeling spiritually as well as how I was feeling about what my financials would look like, right? So all of those things were kind of hitting me. It's just like, well, I need this job. I can't quit. And I was still doing things that made me feel uncomfortable, but I had to do my job at the end of the day. And although I did push back on certain things, at the end of the day, I had to do what the boss wanted me to do because it's their business. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and, tell you how to run your business. Like, I can give you advice, but I can't, make you do anything. So either way, without getting too deep into it, I was praying, and then certain things happened in December, and all of a sudden I was just working so many hours. I mean, this was like always, like I did work, after hours during November. And I did work, sometimes the weekends, just trying to get myself in order. I would like to come in on Mondays and at least have a hold of what that day was going to look like. Enter December, and things got a little bit chaotic due to certain things that were happening in the business, and it became completely unmanageable. Like, I was working a full 8-hour schedule with no lunch breaks. I wouldn't get up even to pee sometimes. God knows that I am telling the truth. I would just sit and work and get through the day to come home, open up my laptop, and continue to work. That went on for weeks through December, working weekends. And it was like even impacting my Sundays, where I would go to church, come back, have to open my laptop again and work. And I was working till 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And this was then going in early in the morning, sometimes earlier than when I was supposed to start in the mornings. I've never experienced this level of exhaustion this quick. And, it could be that somebody else can handle that kind of workload and maybe, I don't know, handle it differently. Maybe. I also know what I'm capable of, and I like to strategize. I like to think and not just go, go, go. Like I need pauses, I need breaks in order to work on things. And during the days, it was just nonstop, nonstop, nonstop. My mind was getting exhausted to the point where I've never experienced something like this before. I was completely blanking out. Like I could not formulate a thought. I don't know if anyone has ever gone through that, but it was so scary for me, like to not be able to really kind of think. Like it was just like sometimes like the dumbest things. I was missing things. The work was so unmanageable, I couldn't keep up with the deadlines. It was just not working, and eventually it just came to an end. And it was like right before Christmas time, literally the day before, and it came to an end. And when it did, I was relieved. I wasn't sad. I was relieved. I thanked God because it just needed to happen. It was something that I was already praying on. Like at first, maybe the week before, like I was already feeling this pressure just piling on. And it was just, I was getting extremely uncomfortable. And then I had this moment of peace and clarity. And I said, whatever God has, whatever God has planned for me, it's going to happen no matter what. And that was it. Like, and I was in so much peace after that. I've been so grateful. I was still and still am grateful for that opportunity because it allowed me to get back on track. And now like I am working through everything like with this channel and through other things thoughtfully. I am now finally regaining a little bit more sanity. Like I feel like my brain is starting to function again. Like I'm falling back in rhythm. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention it because I'm over here like talking and doing, right? I use the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Blush. This one is in Copper Etiquette. And I use that for my cheeks. And for my contouring, I did the Milani Cheek Kiss Spilling Tea, shade 120, on the side of my face. And now I'm going in with my One Size Point Made to tight line underneath my eye. Like the point of this is to like chit chat, but also show you what I'm doing to my face. I had several moments where I almost started to doubt myself and my capability. And I knew that voice to not be of God. That wasn't a voice of God. All right, hold on. I need focus for the eyeliner part. Bear with me. So, I say all of this to say, again, I'm not here to badmouth any company or business. I'm sharing an experience that I had with a particular place that I worked with, and it just wasn't a good fit for me. And I realized that this place, like I said, was just also just kind of messing with how I felt as a Christian. And I realized like this can turn ugly for me real quick. And I didn't want that to affect who I am as a Christian. I didn't want that to affect my attitude, my way of being. And the important thing is that I realized like the Holy Spirit was definitely working in my heart almost immediately, because I started praying on it. And like towards the end of November, I would say, I was praying already in the direction like, God, if this is for me, like, like help me deal with this or change something, because I don't know, something is not feeling right. Like I wasn't feeling right in my spirit. And God certainly answered. And the thing is that I think that if I had to do it on my own, because of the need of money, I wouldn't be able to make that decision for myself. But because God was going before me and he knew that I needed to be uncomfortable to be all right with the decision, I feel like God puts you in uncomfortable places when something needs to happen. And you have to also know when that's happening to you and being in tune with God and making sure that when things are happening, like I knew it was a God decision when I had full peace once it was done. Like full entire peace when it happened, full entire peace once it was done. I had a moment. Self-doubt is not a voice of God. I very much know what I'm capable of. I very much know who I am as a person, who I am as an employee. And I feel like at some point the enemy tried to rob me of that. And I said, no, 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 no. I know who I am. And I am the child of God. And I am this and I am that. And I'm not letting the enemy rob me of my joy and of my dignity, of my confidence. Like I had to realize what was the work of the enemy and what was of God and what wasn't of God. So with that being said, I have been since then in absolute peace, but I needed a moment to recover. I am now going in with size up. I've been loving this mascara by Sephora. So that is what is going on my lashes, and I will do a few coats. Like how I'm talking and putting on makeup, like, yeah, this is not as easy as it looks, guys. I'm telling you. But yeah, I knew that it was of God. And after taking time to reflect on everything about the experience, because then you ask yourself, like, why put me in this position, God, if, if it wasn't going to last? And the answer to that is so clear, and it didn't take me a long time to feel it or to have it confirmed, because not only did I think it and pray on it, but it was also confirmed. And it was just like that moment of time wasn't because it was going to be long term. It was to get me through something, right? And I firmly believe that's exactly what it served. It was to get me through a period of time. And that's what it served for me. It was to get me through a period of time. It was to help me in the moment of need that I was in at that time. And now the clock has reset, right? And now I'm just praying towards what the direction and strategy of my life is now and see what that looks like. And I'm just taking it a day at a time with no real expectations. Like, no, well, I shouldn't say no real expectations. I do have expectations, but I am really leaning on what that direction from God is going to look like, because I feel like sometimes we think that our life is so linear, like it's going to go a certain way. And what do I mean by that is, you know, people think, well, maybe your trajectory is just working a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life. And that may very well be. I am seeking employment, yes. Or could it be that this channel takes me to a different level? I don't know what my next chapter is going to look like, but I do know that no matter what the chapter is, that I'm going to be holding God's hand. God is going to be holding my hand through whatever the process is. And that brings me peace as well. All right, bear with me while I do these lip combos. I'm going to go in with the Makeup by Mario lip liner. This is Ultra Suede Sculpting Lip Pencil in Rich Mauve. I am loving this color so much. It, I think, would complement pretty much any skin tone. So bear with me while I line my lips. And then I'm going to go in with this MAC. I got to find out what color this is by MAC. I've used it a lot. It's like a brown color. I'll find out. I'm going to put it a little bit on the inner part of my lips and outline the bottom a little more. I'm going to put it on the outer part of my lips a little bit to give it a little more definition and fullness. Go over it a little bit more with the Makeup by Mario lip pencil. And then I'm going to finish, I love this combination. I'm going to finish with the Summer Fridays lip butter. And this is in cherry. So let me wrap up here because, guys, I've been taking a lot of your time. So yeah, self-care for me is really big. After everything that I went through, I feel like self-care for me is necessary given that experience that I had in such a very short amount of time. Again, never had experienced something like that before. And I needed to give myself grace. I needed to understand why certain things happened. And I believe this is what I was getting into before. I am depending on God for my next chapter, and I fully have faith that he is going to see me to the other side. However, and not however in a bad way, but unfortunately, I should say unfortunately, my body, it just reacts in like really like absurd ways under stress. It had been some trauma that I had suffered years and years ago. I'm going to go in with the Becca highlighter in Champagne Pop, and I'm just going to put it right here on my cheek, my cheekbone. Due to some trauma that I had suffered a few years back, I think that my body now naturally gravitates towards this anxiety that is like beyond control. Like there's nothing that I can really do about it other than pray. I mean, there is something I can do about it. I pray, but sometimes it's gotten to the point where I have to take medication because it comes out of nowhere. Like I can be sitting down watching TV and all of a sudden my chest is getting tight. I can't breathe. And it's just my body just reacting. And I've been praying over that because it's very unsettling. I don't like the feeling. And I mean, who does? But I've recognized it. Like I know when I'm having an anxiety attack. And in January, it was quite frequent, especially towards the beginning. And now I think my body is finally regulating. So in order, now we're going to bring it and close it, right? We're going to bring it all together and close it. By the way, going in with my De Alba First Spray Serum. And I am going to spray this over my face. So now for this self-care portion this month, I really want to focus on just getting myself into a soothing state. And it's been working. Like I said, like the anxiety has been less towards the end of January. It still happens. Like sometimes something can trigger me to be anxious, and it could be not even related to me. Like if I hear someone going through something, I'm automatically triggered and I start feeling anxiety. If I hear some kind of news, I'm automatically, and I have to rebuke it and just move on. But that's where I am right now. So February for me is going to be a love yourself type of month. I want to ask you to join me and let's love ourselves in whichever way that feels good to you. For me, it's doing it with my skincare, taking care of myself. I like to get my eyebrows done, so that's coming up next. I do my own skincare, like I do my dermaplaning. I do my nails, and you know, even though I'm not working, I do set aside a budget just to do nails, and I am making some money. So it's not that I haven't been doing nothing. I am working in other things, and thankfully, and thanks to you guys, I get paid through this channel. I also get paid through sponsorships, affiliate links. So God has been good to me, right? And I am very grateful to you guys who I also pray for, and I pray for you guys all the time, believe it or not. You guys are in my daily prayers because I ask God to bless you the way he's blessing me. But that's what this month is going to really be about. And it's just going to be like, I'm going to take care of my body. I'm going to do what I have to do and cherish what God has already given me. I'm going to go in with the Stets Brazilian perfume that I bought because it just yum, yum, yum. Now I feel so good. One last step is going to be my hair, but I think I'm going to do that off camera. But that is where we are, guys. By the way, this is my natural face look. I know it seemed like a lot of steps, but this is how I get the look that I want. This is my daily look pretty much. I haven't been doing much of eyeshadow before. I used to do lots of eyeshadow. I've just kind of been keeping it clean with the products that I've been using. This is literally my daily go-to. If I don't use the IT Cosmetics New Glow, then I use the Sephora Best Skin Ever, which you could see is almost out. I will link everything down below. But I think that we need to take care of ourselves. Take care of your mind, your body, your soul. I want to get back to reading the Bible, highlighting passages, connecting with God the way that I should be doing all year long. I got that prayer journal that I'm super excited for, that I've been writing in, and just like little steps closer to God. And I love these moments. Like, I love the quiet. I love just sitting and thinking and praying and writing my thoughts down. Like, that has been a real game changer as well. So I'm looking forward to that. So I hope that you'll join me for that. And I want to know what you guys are going to do for yourself in this month of February. For January, we talked about, what your goals are. And I have big goals for this year. And I know that I'm going to get close, if not exceed those goals for this year. But this month, it's going to be about reestablishing everything that I felt was almost lost, and just bringing myself back to where I need to be. Although it feels like it was a heavy chat, it's a liberating chat. Like, I feel that sometimes you don't know what another person is going through. And I was thinking maybe not sharing this story for one reason or another. I feel like this story is more about not so much the experience of what I went through at that place, but the story is more about recognizing what is good for you, what doesn't sit right in your spirit, what God is sometimes working in your life without you realizing that he's doing, like what his purpose is. And it's also about realizing you need to reset and seek him and double down on that. So guys, we are in, again, a season of waiting, and I'm okay with that. We are in a season of kind of reestablishing ourselves. We are also in a season where I feel like great things are coming. So this season of waiting, I think, is going to be a short one. I am proclaiming that in the name of Jesus, but it's also going to be a season where I am just going to enjoy every moment that it brings and being content in whatever that is, and not thinking about tomorrow. All right, the hair is done. Totally makes a difference. Guys, I really want to thank you for being here. I want you to keep something in mind, not just for this month, but really take into account you are this beautiful person and you need to take care of you the same way that you would take care of another person. Take care of you, because if you can't pour into yourself, how are you going to pour into others? So whatever that looks like for you this month, make sure that you are taking care of yourself, your mind, your body, your soul. Nourish it in the best way possible, because once you do, you will realize that you will be able to give to others so much more. When I took that pause at the end of December, I needed it for myself, because I knew I was not good to anyone at that point in time. When I tell you I was fully burnt out, I was so burnt out. So with that being said, I just really want you to think about yourself, and not in a selfish way, but almost, yes, in a selfish way. I want you to think about how you can be the best version of yourself. Pour into yourself spiritually, read the Bible, connect with God, worship, listen to some great worship music, exercise, do things that get you moving like that. I am so looking forward to all of these different things. I have been getting back to it and it feels good, right? Eating better, like even that, being conscious of the things that I'm putting into my body, that is great. Going back to my juices, like all of these things, that is just like, I need to take a moment and just be who I need to be for myself so that I can be that person for others. So with that being said, I pray that God blesses you in new and amazing ways each and every single day. Take care.